call me Colette. Call me a pen pal, buddy. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. Real Housewives Atlanta Season 10 episode, I don't know. Let's go and get into this review. Sheree. Girl, Sheree around here pooching around trying to buy a $10,000 door, girl, but she owed about $100 million on this $20,000 looking house. I'm digging the poodle that she got on her head. Now, normally, y'all know I live for all the housewives, honey. I live for all of them. But Miss Sheree, girl, you shopping around for this door, and all the problems it's taking you to build this shitty built ass castle. I mean, the house is nice, don't get me wrong. But girl, the landscape look horrible. The ants look like they still run up the hill. And girl, what type of paint is you using, girl? It looked like it came out of somebody's esophagus. So Sheree and Porsha are looking for a door for Miss Sheree, girl. I don't know what for. And they're talking about Sheree having a pen pal, and Portia's asking, girl, are you married? Are you married? She said, girl, no, I'm not married, but when he get out of jail, we gonna have, all types of things going on. Girl, it's about to be a long road and a lonely road for Sheree. Kenya, Candy, and Cynthia are sitting down on the couch. I think they're at Cynthia's house. So Candy decides to ask Kenya, how was the funeral? Girl, when like, how do you ask somebody how some, funeral arrangements went? Like, how was the funeral? Did they come alive? Did they die? But did you die? Candy, y'all know Mama Igor don't know too much, girl. But Candy asking that question, I want people to tell me, do you ask somebody how was the funeral? How do you go about asking people who have just left the funeral of one of their loved ones? How do you ask them, how was it? Do you bring it up? How you have that type of conversation? How do you do that? Because I felt like there was just too much going on. But Kenya said it was a funeral, and she proceeds to tell them, that was her only mother that she knew of. It was a sad situation, her losing her grandmother. I did feel, for Kenya and, losing a loved one. She seemed like she was really connected to her, because her mother had closed the door on her. So that's good that she had, some type of relationship with a family member. So Cynthia gets down right to the nitty gritty. She said, okay, this is going on, but why have I met Marc Daly? Now, y'all know we coming back off the episode of everybody was being petty, asking, especially Marlo Deep Throat Hampton, or Deep Voice Hampton, whatever you want to call her. Girl, she was sucking on that old white man toes to get some mortgage payments or some rent payment, whatever you want to call it. Cynthia had walked up from the table because they were trying to, make jokes about, is Kenya married? Is she really married? And Cynthia said she wasn't here for it. But some of the comments did get to Cynthia, and you can tell when Cynthia said something to Kenya. She said, girl, I haven't met him. I don't have any selfies with him. How can I meet him? And Kenya said, I had a lot going on. Matt was kicking my baseboards in, kicking my glass in my cars and stuff. So he couldn't come to Atlanta. I just been flying to New York every weekend. So Cynthia said, well, girl, I was just in New York last weekend. So, girl, what's the tea? Now, Kenya, you can go on about your business. Cynthia could have called a $60 or $80 Spirit flight to New York real quick. Girl, cut that mess out. I ain't believing that mess, girl. I just don't know how to feel about Kenya jumping from breaking up with Matt to in a marriage and within one season. We didn't have like one season in between. It's just like the next season she's married. So I know a lot of folks are like, girl, this is not making no sense. It's not making no sense. And even for Cynthia to be Kenya's friend and she ain't met this man, girl, it's crazy. But the ladies being messy, that's just who they are. Candy brings up the picture she saw of Sheree and her new boo, okay? Y'all know Sheree is a pen pal or whatever. She got a pen pal. I don't know how that works. I ain't never really talked to nobody in prison before. But Candy want to know, girl, like, is he gonna steal Chateau Sheree? Because, he did fraudulent stuff and was like, millions of dollars worth of fraud. So what do y'all think about that? Well, Cynthia said, well, girl, I don't know, honey. I just don't know how to feel. And Kenya was like, well, maybe Sheree can figure it out. But, y'all know Kenya made a joke about that not being Sheree house anyway. That's Thelma's chateau. Porsha is looking for a man, and she hires 2 white women to find her man. Ain't this the smartest thing to do? So these two women pooch up in Porsche house, and they're talking to her, and they say, girl, what type of stuff do you like? What are you interested in so we can find you a man? Now, it seems like they ain't finna introduce nobody to Porsha but a white person like that. I just got that immediately. I just didn't see maybe Porsha, maybe they paid Bravo some money to advertise or something. They did something, but it was kind of whack. But I was hollering how Porsha had all these bedrooms and all these clothes in there. Like, Porsha, girl, get it together. Now, Porsha's palace looking like something else, girl. Get it together. Then she had a playground. Girl, who you inviting over there? If I'm a man, I'm trying to date you, Porsha, which would happen because I'm not dating women, period. But girl, you got all this stuff going on. You ain't got no kids. What's tea? Peter unveils that after 3 years, Bar 2 is still non-existent. Now, people are saying, well, you know, it takes a minute for, you know, you to build something like that. Yeah, it does. But the tea that I've heard from Atlanta is that, you know, Peter never did really have the money to go forward with Bar 2. It just wasn't there. And, you know, building a restaurant is very expensive. Even with Candy, you know, all the coins she got, she still had ran into some problems. But, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff about what happened to the first Bar 1 that was in Atlanta. So Cynthia's meeting up with Peter and she just immediately started flirting. A lot of people saying that, ooh, you know, Peter looked good. All I seen when I seen Peter was dead and destruction, girl. No, and you see he was walking around in destruction, okay? They were talking about what they're going to build and what they're going to work on. Cynthia said she's getting 25% of the cut of all the earnings that comes from Bar 2 and it's going to be popping. Now, Peter said he has the #1 club or something going on in Charlotte. I've been there before. The bar he has, it's not the best. I mean, it's cute. They had a couple of drinks, but as I told y'all when I went there last year, child, they had, you look like a daycare because they had kids in the back where we was sitting there. So it was all right, but it was nothing, you know, sickening about it for it to be standing out. So I think Peter kind of stretching it. But y'all can see when Peter was in the background, he had the bar. I'm telling y'all, Bravo trying to set up Peter's little show about him having that bar in Charlotte. That's all they about to do. They about to have a new show. So they introducing Peter in so he can go on with that in the next couple of months or something. I'm telling y'all, I see it already. They trying to get us used to him sitting at the bar and this is a confessional look, trying to test it out. I see y'all over there, Bravo. But Cynthia seems like she's excited to see Peter. Every time they come around each other, they flirt. I understand they've been together for a while. So, you know, there's still going to be some things, you know, they're going to feel about each other. So, you know, Cynthia says, you know, I'm dating. I got to, you know, I'm talking to somebody. Peter said, you like him? He said, yeah, but we ain't together. And, you know, what you got going on? Peter said, the only thing he worried about is building this bar up and coming back and taking over Atlanta. I don't see it. So Sheree is finally sitting down with her children. She's about to tell them about, you know, what's going on with the domestic violence situation that she had with her husband. So Sheree saying her daughter is about to go to DC. She's going to Howard. And, you know, Sheree said she was a little shook because she's like, girl, I didn't think she was going to go to a HBCU. And when I paid attention to it, I was like, girl, daughter Sheree's daughter, girl, where your black friends at? She had these white friends over there, you know, and they were pooching her like, what's the tea? Now, not saying that you cannot have white friends, but let me tell y'all something. Black people need to be surrounded around black folks so they don't inherit no anti-black ass ideas. And that's just the facts of the matter. I mean, you can try to fit in and try to assimilate as much as possible with you know, hang around white folks, and sometimes it can be toxic on you. You don't even know it, girl. You're in there inbreathing some shit. These folks telling you your people are less than. Now that might not be the case with Sheree's daughter. She's going to HBCU. That don't necessarily mean that she supporting black stuff and all that. But I was looking at that like, I wonder why Sheree had made that comment that she was shocked that she was going to HBCU. So I need to know a little bit more tea about that. So Sheree tells them, you know, I've been asked to be an ambassador for this program, this nonprofit that's reaching out to people who have suffered through domestic violence or victims of it. And she tells them that you know about me and your father. Have you ever heard any rumors? And they, you know, Sheree's daughter said, yeah, I did. He was trying to talk to me at a soccer game about it. And she said she pulled off, skirt on cockeye, I skirt on that eyeball. I do it for fun, don't take it personally. Hey, that was a wrong time for Bob to be trying to do that. Bob, you ain't shit for that, Bob. Come on now. So they have a little meaningful conversation about it, and you know, they talk about it. Now I felt some type of way about it. I felt like this should have been like talked about off camera, but I understand, you know, this is deep. We need to have a conversation, and it's a storyline, and it's something that Sheree's been talking about, so why not get it? But I hope she had that conversation off camera as well as on camera. I hope they only talk about the surface stuff and talk about the in-deep, unpacked situation that need to be talked about. I am here for Candy teaching her son how to swim. I think that's important. I wish I was taught, like, I feel like that's something you need to learn very early on, because I'm not playing about the water. I don't know how to swim. You cannot teach me right now to dip my head underwater. I'm not fear for it. That's a fear that I have, and I think that's something we need to, you know, learn in the beginning. So I'm glad for Candy doing that. Now Candy said that, you know, her husband Todd is her rock, and you know, she's not being the best mother. Now this is where I want to have a come to Jesus minute with Kandi, because I feel like Kandi is chasing all these materialistic things and she's going to end up missing the growth of her child, her children and everything. Like, Kandi, I understand that you want to do this, you want to build this empire, but how much money, how much wealth, how much power do you need till you say it's okay? I don't think you will ever get to the point that you say, oh, this is enough. Because even me going back and forth, when I was paying $600, $700 rent, I thought that was the tea, girl, until I started paying $800 rent, $900 rent, $1,100 rent, $1,200, $1,300 rent. You know, then I'm like, okay, girl, and there's folks out here paying $4,000 or $5,000 for mortgage and that, and making $15,000, $20,000 a month. So I'm just, it made me think like, girl, like, what's the tea? Like, what are you doing, Cam? Enjoy it. Like, girl, you got an indoor pool in your house. Like, enjoy it. And when she went out with Riley and they went to iFly, which I want to go to, but I'm just so scared I'm not going to be able to breathe. And it's going to remind me of being claustrophobic, and I'm just not going to be here for it. But, you know, even when she went with Riley was like, you know, yeah, you know, you ain't been there. You counsel all the time and you do this and that. So that lets me know that, you know, girl, what is you doing, Kandi? You trying to, you know, you searching for all this materialistic stuff and you doing this and that, and your children are missing you. Like, girl, you need to figure that out, Kandi. It's just like, sit your ass down. You got a restaurant. I'm glad you threw a couple of bones and stuff for Escape for the bed to pay their light bill on time. But Georgia Power ain't playing. But at the same time, Kandi, spend time with your children. Spend time with your loved ones. You finna be on the boat. Cynthia said her man, whatever his name, Will the pilot, because he want to be on everybody's show, a pilot show or whatever. And Kandi and her husband Todd are on the boat and they're having a conversation about relationships. And Kandi digging right into the tea. She said, well, you know, I want to make sure that you are here for Cynthia because, you know, I've seen you on a couple of dating shows. I've seen you on the Ricky Smiley show. I've seen you do this and that. Like, is this something else you're trying to do to get some attention? And girl, Cynthia looking like, oh, okay. And, ooh, what's this? So, you know, Will said, no, I'm interested in Cynthia. And Cynthia said, girl, I mean, Chad, we don't work out. I'm just going to break up with him. So Cynthia's going off of that, girl. As long as we ain't married, as long as this man ain't sucking my credit points, I'm good. I screamed when Cynthia said she don't want no too short. She want big pun. She want all of. She want some slongs, okay? I guess when you get some Jamaican beef patties, you can't go nowhere else. Porsha goes on a date with 007, okay? Girl, don't ask me where I came that name from. This was a different version of James Bond, okay? But this was more inclusive James Bond. But child, he was giving me British tease. Porsha walked in and she immediately did a about face. Because girl, them yellow teeth were front and center. That man was talking to Porsha and Porsha was just drinking all that water. He was so awkward. He was talking like he was ashamed of his teeth. He didn't open his mouth all the way. And oh my gosh, there's nothing worse than a person who's trying to speak or talk and they're ashamed of their teeth. They don't want to smile as much. They talk like this. Girl, I felt so bad for him. I just wanted to throw some damn Listerine and bleach and Clorox, all that shit. I just wanted Captain Planet to go in there and just knock all them damn crevices and shit between his gums, because girl, they were a fool. So Sheree meets with her financial coach and she's telling him, you know, I told the kids what's going on. He said, oh, that's good. Then she gets a collect call from a federal prison. Girl, Mr. Tyrone calling and trying to get Miss Sheree all riled up, and he talking about so he just got to work it out. But Sheree, I'm trying to figure out why you asking a man that's in a federal prison what they doing. Girl then proceeded to say that he calls me, he does this and that, he got plenty of time. Girl, he ain't got nothing but time, serving time. What is you talking about, Sheree? This was so confusing to me. Sheree was just so happy. She said, oh, this is that. Girl, Sheree, you and this Tyrone stuff, I rebuke y'all in the name of Jesus because that's a mess. Sheree is so happy dating somebody that has nothing but time for her that she don't even understand in the real world. Like, she a pen pal buddy. Sheree, girl, I hope you get it. I hope you get it together because, girl, that's not a cute look at all. But if Sheree likes it, I love it. I hope her house does as well. I just don't know if I'm here for Sheree dating a man in jail. I don't know. But that's another story. This episode of Housewives was a C. She didn't give us everything we needed, but it was cute for a conversation piece for us to talk about Sheree and whatever she's doing with this man, you know, exchanging numbers, okay? Somebody buzzing in telling him, girl, your time is almost up. Next episode, Porsha and Nene gonna have a conversation conversation about nothing again. The old lady gang gonna have a meeting and they gonna tell Candy she need to get some better folks with some better attitudes at the old lady gang. Cause child, I believe it, because they said when in the beginning, child, they said Candy had folks in there that, you know, didn't want to serve no damn people. I still ain't been. I don't know when I'm going to the old lady gang. I just don't know if I'm gonna pay $30 for a piece of salmon. I just don't. I'm gonna have to pray on that. Porsha gonna be talking about a possible something with Ricky Smiley. I don't know if it's some type of anything, but Porsha and Ricky Smiley, child, I don't know. But this episode of Housewives, like I said, was a C-. She could have been better, but you know, we're going to have a couple filler episodes, child, in my Naruto voice. But that's all I got. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. What do you all think about asking somebody how a funeral arrangement went? Girl, I don't know how that works. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to y'all later on tonight. Bye. I just don't know if I'm here for Sheree dating a man in jail. I don't know. But that's another story. This episode of Housewives was a C. She didn't give us everything we needed, but it was cute for a conversation piece for us to talk about Sheree and whatever she's doing with this man, you know, exchanging numbers, okay? Somebody buzzing in telling him, girl, your time is almost up. Next episode, Porsha and Nene gonna have a conversation about nothing again. The old lady gang gonna have a meeting and they gonna tell Candy she need to get some better folks with some better attitudes at the old lady gang. Cause child, I believe it, because they said when in the beginning, child, they said Candy had folks in there that, you know, didn't want to serve no damn people. I still ain't been. I don't know when I'm going to the old lady gang. I just don't know if I'm gonna pay $30 for a piece of salmon. I just don't. I'm gonna have to pray on that. Porsha gonna be talking about a possible something with Ricky Smiley. I don't know if it's some type of anything, but Porsha and Ricky Smiley, child, I don't know. But this episode of Housewives, like I said, was a C-. She could have been better, but you know, we're gonna have a couple filler episodes, child, in my Naruto voice. But that's all I got. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. What do y'all think about asking somebody about how a funeral? What do you all think about asking somebody how a funeral arrangement went? Girl, I don't know how that works. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to y'all later on tonight. Bye.